Hi, my name's Mike. I recorded a short video a little while ago and said I'd been fighting a lot of battles in my life, and I just wanted to share what I've been through, maybe help somebody along the way. Um, Started probably when I was about 11, I guess. Started huffing gas, and that went on for a couple of years. Well, it didn't take too long to get addicted to it. It became a daily thing. Um, Basically, I'd go out and have gas until I passed out. Um, so, what transpired during that time? Just I rented a buttload of brain cells, and it started a journey of addiction. Um, what finally made me open my eyes that I needed to quit. And this is odd enough, seen a hallucination of a tapestry come down, was rolled down, and blue devil face came out of that tapestry and straight towards me. And it got up on top, face to face with me, and said, "You're just about mine." And that led me to walk away from uh, huffing gas. But that's just the beginning. I mean, it goes on for years and years and years of addictions and things that just tore me down. Uh, After that, shortly after that, I started into cigarettes and started a little bit of alcohol. Started smoking pot and got into pornography. And each one of those lasted for years. Um, each one of them bound me. Uh, it's like chains. You want to get rid of what you're doing, but it keeps drawing you back. It keeps pulling you back. It holds you. Um, with each thing, it started out just, trying it, friends, oh, give this a try, or look cool, or whatever the excuse may be. Um, Started on cigarettes, um, and then I, here and there, did a little alcohol. Became friends that smoked pot, so I got into that. Like I said, pornography. Some people don't consider that addiction, but believe me, it'll hold you just as well as anything else, if not worse. We'll talk more about that one later. Um, so, the age of 12, 13, 14, I was working in the orchards and I was making a lot of money for that age. I mean, probably about $1,000 a month. So I was able to afford a lot of stuff. And I became a supplier for my friends for dope and booze and uh, just started a downward spiral in my life. I didn't realize how far it would go, but it started it. First time I got drunk, I probably drank almost a whole pint to myself, and I was probably 14. And I got so drunk I was just puking everywhere in my parents' house. Um, just started fighting with my dad, my stepdad at that time. Um, I was growing pot in the house. Um, Trouble with cops, school. My school attendance and grades just spiraled out of control. Got kept getting hooked up with people that, they wanted to do the same thing, because that's what we do. We don't hang around people that don't want to do it. We hang around people that encourage us to do it, and they definitely hang around you if you have the money to get it. Um, but yeah, so 12, 13, 14, I really got into pot. 15, 16, 17, just kept getting bigger and bigger. Um, got to the point where, 17 years old, I flunked out of high school. Just complete loss. My stepdad said I'd never make anything of myself, and started wearing at me. At that point, I started failing at things because I let those things take precedence, and they tend to wipe out anything that's good in your life. You start just focusing on them. The longer and longer I went along, the more and the more the addictions became. Um, Smoking, I was well into it by 14. Drinking really came around when I turned about 16, 17. And pot was probably around 14, 13, 14 too. Um, and I continued on those for several years. About the same time, at 12 years old, I got hooked up with a friend, and he already was into a pornography addiction. And the reason why I call it addiction, because later I found out what happens when you view pornography. Your brain releases a dopamine, and that dopamine, what it does is it enhances the sexual experience. It makes you want that experience. It makes you desire that sexual experience. And your brain, it produces it. So I didn't even have to go to a drug dealer for that. It wasn't, I didn't start in the softcore stuff either. It was right into Hustler and Penthouse and all those other magazines. And I mean, that one took a hold pretty quick. I mean, I was searching for it. One of the friends that I got hooked up with, his dad had a stash of pornography books, and I, I would end up checking those out all the time, and snagging one here and there, take home. I mean, a lot of people say it's an addictive personality, and that's you can claim it's that, but I later found out it's what's called a sinful nature. That we're born with that in us, and it just depends on what you get into is what your choice of drug is, whether it's pornography, whether it's alcohol, whether it's sexual meetings with women, or whatever it may be. There's so many flavors of the day, and some of them they just hang on together, and you end up just doing right next to each other, right in sequence with each other. I guess that's the word for something like that. So, I mean, by the time I was 18, I was bound in pornography. I was bound in alcoholism. I was bound in pot. I was bound by cigarettes. So many things. Well, 17, I flunked out of high school, and my stepdad said, well, you got to get out. You got a choice. You can get out or you can go in the Army. Well, I didn't particularly want to work, so I chose the Army. It was the quickest and the easiest way to get out. And during this time between 12 and 17, me and my dad fought a lot. I mean, fist fights. Because I was just instigated by my drinking or my drug use or whatever it was. I was bringing it into his house. You know, I can understand him. You know, I was bad. So at 17 and 3/4, I went into the army, and